There was a lot of tools like this in the past. I won't say I was the first person to really, bring this home, but they all didn't work that well. So what I did was I essentially just hired a bunch of developers, and we just really tweaked things. And we've heard Pablo Picasso say this, he said like good minds, they copy, but great minds steal.
I want entrepreneurs to know you need to be thinking just because it's an idea that's already out there, don't mean it could be recreated and made better.
Find a niche and stay in it, because you can dominate a niche, right? But if you try to dominate a whole market, it's not a blue ocean, but one niche might be that blue ocean for you.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to Circle of Greatness. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and today we got a super special guest, man. Another agency owner, right? I wanted him to come on here and talk about the power of community and building social media, man. Without further ado, Christian Crenshaw, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Chilling, man. How's everything with you,
Hey,
man?
amazing, man. Really happy to be on here, man. It's been a pleasure.
Man, it's funny when I found about you, like, yo, bro, I was already in your programs and all of this stuff.
Right.
Like, how did you find me, actually?
Man, I found you through market. So how do I find you, man? I mean, everybody who doesn't know about Neo, you know what I mean? If you're in Atlanta, you're in entrepreneurship, you're in business, you know about Neo. So found out about you, was already watching a lot of your videos, all that stuff. But linked up with Marcus, and he was using our AI tool, and then he plugged me in. He's like, man, I gotta get Neo on this, man. And I love that, man, because when you find something good, you don't gatekeep it, right? And I think that's really cool what you guys do.
Yeah. So the AI tool, I'm on the AI tool, Social Minds, and I know it's more of an agency. It's not just a tool from ads to community building, a whole bunch of different things. My question for you is, how did you even come up with the idea of the tool, man? Like software.
Yeah. So there was a lot of tools like this in the past. I won't say I was the first person to really, bring this home, but they all didn't work that well. Right. So what I did was I essentially just hired a bunch of developers, and we just really tweaked things and really modified what was already working on the market to work even better. And that's really it. You know what I mean? You've heard Pablo Picasso say this, he said like, good people are good minds, they copy, but great minds steal. Right. So we not only did we make this tool again, but we made it our own and made it even better. And now we have, hundreds of thousands of people using it.
Wow, that's dope. So that's dope, and just came up with that. And I mean, think about when you say that. It's so funny. I don't know about the still part, but it was not your quote, so you're good. But when you think about Spanx, they reinvented pantyhose. They cut the legs out of pantyhose. I don't know. You may be too young about pantyhose. Yeah.
I mean, I know.
But they were stockings, and they cut essentially the feet out of them. And she went and created a multi-billion-dollar business. There's so many. Bro, I don't know if you know dude wipes. Like, they're regular wipes that can flush, but they call them dude wipes. And I mean, their valuation is crazy. So just to think that, I want entrepreneurs to know you need to be thinking just because it's an idea that's already out there, don't mean it could be recreated and made better. So
the idea of dude wipes is really cool, not to gear it towards dude wipes, but what they did was they niched down towards an audience that might not be using wipes as much, right? Dudes, right? And that's what I always tell people to do whenever they're building their personal brand or building their community, is find a niche and stay in it, because you can dominate a niche, right? But if you try to dominate a whole market, it's not a blue ocean, but one niche might be that blue ocean for you.
Break down the difference between blue ocean and red ocean. I always hear people talk about it.
Yeah, when I think about a blue ocean, you think about like, if you're a fisherman and you're on the ocean, there's nobody around. You cast a wide net, you're gonna catch a bunch of fish, right? A red ocean, you might have a boat right here, a boat right there, a boat right here. It's picked over, there's blood in the water. It's a red ocean, right? So if you're going into a red ocean market, it's an ocean that everybody's already in. It's saturated, it's picked through. You're commoditized. And when you're commoditized, that means you have to navigate by price point. People are like, oh, this person has this price, this person has this price, this person can do it this faster. But if you're in a blue ocean, it doesn't matter. They're like, you're the only person doing it, right? And if you're the only person doing it, that you can charge whatever you want.
Yeah, it's so funny you talk about like being in the blue ocean. I went to this Alex Becker. You ever heard of Alex Becker?
Of course,
on High Roast, and man, incredible mastermind. 2 days, it was like 20 grand. And the biggest takeaway he told us was product market fit. You will make a whole lot of money if you could be number one or number two in the industry. Like, how do you be number one or how do you be number two in the industry? And it changes the game for your business, right? So when I think about y'all tool, like, I mean, y'all one of the top names in that industry, but I want entrepreneurs listening, like that game he gave me, we are looking to be 1 and 2. And the biggest pieces that I learned from him was, like, I don't want to go recreate ClickFunnels. I don't want to recreate Go High Level. Now, Go High Level came and they're dominating. They're 1 or 2 now. Like they are dominating, right?
Absolutely.
But what he was telling us, sometimes instead of going to go create that one thing, create a widget. Like, how can you create a little tool? Like, for example, Proof Approvally. It's not creating a whole website. It's adding a little piece of code that says somebody just signed up, someone just signed up. Right. So it's not a whole ClickFunnels, but Proof and Provely are number 1 and number 2 with doing that. So as entrepreneurs, if you're listening, start asking yourself, how can I be number 1 or how can I be number 2? And the other biggest takeaway I got from him is, how do you take something that's working in our industry, social media, and take it to an old industry? Because they're so far behind. Like, imagine if people are using just the different things y'all doing as a chiropractor. They're so old.
They're going crazy.
As a immigration lawyer, like they're not even thinking about.
We got a pizzeria utilizing SocialMize right now. We got a testimonial from her, and literally she's getting so many more customers. She has a pizzeria in Peru. Yeah. Like, bro, what? She was like, how can I use this tool? And I was like, what do you do? She's like, I have a pizzeria, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what you got to do. She's getting new followers, new customers. She's sending out, discounts for pizzas and deals and stuff, and it's blowing up her, brick and mortar business from utilizing the social media tool. So I mean, like there's a lot of people who aren't caught up on game. I think like entrepreneurs, I think people who are interested in AI, we get stuff a lot quicker, right? But then everybody else, sometimes it's like, hey, you can use that same knowledge and build a whole business and make a lot of income. Like you said, teaching other people how to do it who aren't caught up on game.
That's fact. Hey guys, if you're looking at this episode right now, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to go to socialmize.com right now, y'all. This is the number 1 tool that some of your favorite entrepreneurs are using to grow their following, right? To engage with their audience and be totally different, right? So go to socialmize.com right now. Because you're watching this, I asked them to bless us. They're going to give you a free trial so you can try it before you buy it and start leveraging the tool to help your business grow. So, question, how did you get in the community, man? You're building communities. Like, I want to walk through, how do somebody build a community? How do you get visibility? I know you were like number 2 or 1 in the school games, Alex Hormozi. So that means out of everybody who joined, you were 1 or 2, meaning the person who grew the community the fastest. So I want to talk through that.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, one, everything I do is community, right? I started, not to go way back, but I started in party promoting, you know what I mean? I had like a team of 50 promoters.
When did you start that?
This is when I was in college.
Okay.
This is when I was in college. What college you go to? Yeah, I went to a college called Belmont University. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. And I was a party promoter. I was throwing parties, turning up all the colleges around. And that was my first stab at like really building a community. Like, I didn't know it at the time, but like we had a big group chats. We were having fun. We would show up and we'd show out and all that stuff. And I brought that same level of community to my business, right? I had somebody hop into one of my calls. We just brought another new sales manager, and he was like, dang, y'all got a big team, right? And this is even my mindset towards team. I always think like, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together, right? So that's been something I've always thought about, when building a team. So when I started, managing sales teams and doing all this other stuff, then it really occurred to me that there was something necessary for building monthly recurring revenue, right? And I saw some people doing it a little bit on the side. So we started building out communities for people. I changed my entire business model once I saw the power of school, WAP, all of these other, features that were around. And we changed our business. It used to be called Closed on Sunday. I don't know if you know that. It used to be called Closed on Sunday. And now we've changed it. It's called CommunityLaunch.com. Right, so we've completely shifted everything. I like that URL. Yeah, I had to get it. I paid a little money for that URL.
That sounds like a premium. How much you pay for it?
Like $10K for that URL.
Oh, yeah, so that sounds premium. That's fire. It was worth it though.
It was worth it. Yeah. So we changed our entire business model, and now we help people launch communities on school, WAP, GHL, Kajabi, whatever they're needing.
My guys at publishing.com, they pay
they paid a lot,
$300 to $500 for their URL. I know Hormozi paid a
for
pretty
acquisition?
penny for acquisition.com.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get marketing at the start, but they said I think he said they tried to charge him like $1 million. You know what I mean? But Yeah, I mean that's really when we got into helping people with communities, it really just turned everybody up. I mean, we won the school games not once, not twice, but 3 different times just last year, right?
Wow.
And we've helped other people to win the school games, level up, their monthly recurring revenue. There was a lot of businesses that we were working with, Neo, and they were just doing high ticket sales, right? So if you're in the space of like high ticket sales, every month you got to hunt and go kill, and you're like starting at zero. You got payroll. You got people expenses you got to pay, and it's just a stressful environment, not just for the CEO or the business owner, but for the team. They feel it from the CEO. They're like, hey, we got to make sales. Why aren't you closing deals? Because like, bro, every month ads are coming out, ad spend. So when you have a community and you have, let's say your expenses are $30K a month, and your community is making $50K a month, stress levels are a lot lower.
Way lower.
A lot lower. You're like, hey, we can have fun. You can build a little bit more of a community within your own team. People are more happy. You can give bonuses. And that's actually going to help you make more money when you have a positive environment rather than, stressing people out, people quitting. You have churn and burn. People are like, man, I don't really like this dude. He's always yelling at us, So it's just a lot better. So that's the power of community in a business for me.
Yeah. And I like that because it's so funny you talk about it. Like, not having MRR, monthly recurring revenue, and annual recurring revenue, you got to start from zero every month.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Mm-hmm. Every business need to find a way how to add monthly recurring revenue. So, bro, I want you to break down, like, I hear building communities, all of that, but how? Like, if I'm coming to you, I know you talked about the importance of just starting, but break it down. Like, how you get in the game.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different strategies to building a community.
Yeah.
But the first thing I would ask is, do you have a brand already, right? Do you have a brand? If you have a brand, it's a lot easier. If you don't have a brand, we can still make it happen, right? But are you an expert in something is the next question, right? If you're not, you don't have to be the best in the world at what you do. You don't got to be a billionaire to help people make money. You can be a millionaire, and there's people making 30K a year, man. They need to hear from a millionaire, right? So I always ask, like, are you at least 70% better than the average person at what you do?
That's good.
And then you can be able to do a community, right? So the first step after that is just starting, right? A lot of times I've talked to people and, they said they're going to start their community. And you've done probably the same thing. And I see them 6 months later and they're like, yeah, I'm still trying to start that community. What do you mean?
Yeah. Go
Ahead and get on school. Go ahead and get on WAP. Go ahead and get on one of these platforms and just start your community, right? If you don't have a big brand, then you want to go free community first, right? So this is really important, guys. Go free community first, right? Because if you're trying to sell people something and they don't know who you are, they're not going to buy it, right? The free community is the best funnel there is right now. Why? Because it nurtures people and they can actually see other people that are working with you. They can see all of your lead magnets in one place. If you guys don't know what a lead magnet is, essentially something that you give away for free that, in exchange for someone's email and phone number, right? So all your lead magnets in one place. They can also feel like they're a part of you and they can see you a lot closer. It's like essentially like your own social media.
Yeah.
That's what I look at it as. You know what I mean? So once they're in your free community, it's easy to upsell them into a paid community or high ticket programs through a few different levers. One is going to be, a webinar. So in all the free communities that I help people with, we always do one weekly call. And here's some sauce. We have an automation. As soon as someone joins your free community, we automatically register them for your weekly webinar, right? And we're getting 30% show rates for that weekly webinar, the same as if they were joining a webinar registration page, right? And then we also upsell them and push them to a welcome call, right? And on that welcome call can be an appointment setter or a closer that then upsells them or just gets to know them. It doesn't always have to be about like sell, but just like, hey, what are you interested in? Blah, blah, blah. Why'd you join our community? And if they are a good fit, you can talk to them about that, right? So the first step, again, like getting started. Second step is to build a system around it. So marketing is super, super important. If you don't have a big brand, then you need to start building that brand. And we do an organic audience approach to a lot of different things. And that's going to start off with just short form content, right? Which is having a really good hook, really good body, and a really good CTA for multiple different posts, right? And if you can do that consistently, we have 150 hook templates that we usually give people, and they can just rinse and repeat, regurgitate content pretty well.
That's good.
The second way that we want to do marketing is going to be through paid ads. I used to be afraid of paid ads. The person who actually put me on paid ads was actually Alex Hermosi, right? Because I was like running ads and I would stop it. I'd be like, I didn't make any money in a couple weeks. I get scared. And I was talking to him about that at his workshop. It was like a year and a half ago or whatever. And he was like, hey, paid ads is a long-term game. That's what he said. He was like, hey, don't think about, how much money you're going to make in 1 month. Think about what it's going to convert to in month 3, month 4.
Yeah.
And then when he said that really hit home. And I started thinking like, okay, I'm just going to set aside some money for 3-4 months. And that's really when everything changed. And I was running my own ads. And then, I got to the point where I hired an ad agency, started scaling that up. So second way is going to be, second way of marketing is going to be ads, right? If you don't have a big brand, the quickest way to scale is with paid traffic.
Yeah, I agree.
Quickest way to scale, especially if you have a good offer on the back end, because you're going to be able to make your money back, right? And the third way we do marketing is obviously going to be with our AI tool, Socialize. That's going to get you around 200 to 500 new leads every single month on autopilot, right? It's insane, right? And if you're going to spend money on ads for that, that'll be around $1,000 to $3,000 in ads.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you get a better return for that. And Socialize is like $100 a month.
Yeah.
Right. So it's insane.
People better socialize.com. Yeah. Y'all better get with it.
Yeah. So that's the third way we do marketing. So after you have your system, you have a community, you have the structure right, then you start pushing people into your free community, and the system itself is going to get people on webinars, get people on calls where you can upsell people. And once you have a good amount of data, what we do is we do retargeting ads directly to your paid community, so you can start getting sales on autopilot through that. That's right. Good. So that's generally the system, right? We add in a couple more things. Once you get big, you might get call setters, you might get an AI chatbot, all that stuff, but you won't need that to get to like 10, 20, 30K.
Bro, sounds powerful. It's so funny you talk about community. One of my clients, we took her from 10K a month. We're doing just trying to sell one-off stuff. I'm like, you got to switch to the community model. Now we got about 1,300 people in there. I think the price point is like $37.
Who was it?
I can't say right now, but
I think I know who it was. Okay. I saw her on the leaderboard the other day. I was like, isn't this Neo's client?
Maybe.
Her?
I don't know. We'll talk about it afterwards. But either way, we took her from there all the way up to I need to know about that leaderboard because we're not even in school games.
Yeah, I'd be locked in on that.
Oh, yeah, we could probably get close to winning that thing then. But anyway, I just remodeled it. I'm like, nah, let's go community. And it's really been working. It's been working crazy. What do you think about, I'm sleeping last night. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I think I'm about to raise the price of the community. Like it's 37. I think I'm going to go 47. It's not a huge lift, but what do you find is the perfect price points for communities? And I know that it all varies based on your audience, your offer, who you serve.
Yeah, I would say, like you just said, I mean, it's really going to vary based on your offer. We made a big mistake in one of the communities that we ran at the start. It was actually Zaytoven's community. We're doing really well now, but when we launched it, it was at $147 a month. And that
sounds pricey.
And we crushed it for the first month.
Yeah.
We were at 100K, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
People started falling off because the audience that we were going after was rappers and producers. Like 147 for that audience is a little high, right? And that's what we realized. So we rebranded, we cut back on a few things that we were offering, and then we relaunched at 47, and it did a lot better, right? A lot better as far as long-term LTV, right? Lifetime value of the client. Yeah. So you have to really just do the audience analysis, figure out like what people are can afford. Also what you're offering, what the value is of what you're offering and they deem as valuable. But usually as low as like 27 to as high as like 250 a month is usually that sweet spot for like low ticket without having a lot of churn. Yeah. Right. Once you get past 250, I feel like you have to do a little bit more done with you, done for you approach to things. And that's just like, it gets a little bit more, less profit margin.
Yeah. God, that's good. So 47, it's good. Like 47 and up to 250. That's crazy. I like that. I like 250 a month per person.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's
good.
Nice.
That's good for like a B2B.
Yeah, 100%.
Here's some sauce that I always.
And what's B2B for those listening?
Yeah, business to business. Gotcha. That's if you're just selling to other businesses. And B2C will obviously be businesses to consumers. So one thing that we've been doing is if you have some sort of SaaS, bolting that onto your community makes it a lot more sticky, right? A lot more sticky. So within our community, you get Socialize, and you get our, white label go high level, which we call community launch CRM. Yeah. So you get that, which allows people to not only have a lot more, they don't have to pay extra for stuff because they need that anyway, but also it's a little bit more sticky. It's like, hey, you leave the community, you're not gonna get that, right?
Ooh, I like that. You know what else? When you say that, that gave me an idea. What do you think about what is churn? Like, what break down what churn is? What is a normal churn, by the way?
Yeah, normal churn is also going to depend on audience and price point, but a good normal churn
And what is churn for those listeners?
Yeah. Churn is essentially the amount of people who are unsubscribing, leaving your community. Maybe they have declined cards, failed payments, whatever. So the amount of people that are leaving every month. Typical churn is going to depend on price point, but you're usually trying to get somewhere around like 10 to 20%, right? For like a normal community. Anything over that gets kind of high. Like if it's 25, 30%, that's high. But if you're doing a $1,000 a month community, you know, maybe a 30% churn isn't that bad, right? You know what I mean? So it just depends on exactly what you're doing.
Bro, so man, it's powerful just understanding what can be done with a community when you properly manage them, when you properly nurture them. You know, another big mistake that people make in community is not selling them more things once they're in the community. A lot of times, and I'm speaking for myself, I had my first community 7-8 years ago, bro, probably longer, and I was making bread. I had like maybe 500 to 1,000 people in here, and I never sold them anything else. And that's a mistake that I made. So talk to that. Like, when are you offering upsells, more products and services? Is it over time? Are you injecting affiliates in? Like, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so definitely injecting affiliates. Yeah. Ooh, that's some sauce right there. Yeah. I'm making, a good 10 to 15K a month on affiliates, right? In my community, because school has affiliates, other things have affiliates, but I put one of my trainers on, right? One of my trainers on back in Miami on the power of affiliate marketing, right? And he started his community. And just, how much the price of like protein and creatine and stuff. I was like, he was sending me a list of stuff to buy. And I was just like, bro, slap an affiliate link on this, man. Yeah. Like, hey, like you got all of your clients using this, right? He hit me up the other day. He said, bro, because of that, I'm making like an additional like 1K a month.
Crazy, right? Which is huge.
That's dope. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the power of affiliates is really huge. But I think it's important to do retention and then maybe some like cohorts every once in a while, like events and things like that. Like I'm actually planning an event, coming up in the next month, for my community. And it's going to be, not like necessarily an upsell, but it'll be a little bit of additional. I'm not going to like smack people in the head or anything like that, but like I want them to come there and actually get the value. So having new things also keeps people engaged and excited, right? And giving your community discounts, that maybe normal people wouldn't be able to get, I think is important as well. So they feel like, hey, I'm a part of this membership. Yeah. So I don't have to pay X amount of money that so-and-so paid. Yeah. I get it for half off. Yeah. Right. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. I think we called it, one of my guys called it offer and delight. Like you're just offering things that they're not even, here's lunch today for the community. Maybe $300 gift card that they're sharing. Like just different cool features that you can add is really game changing. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about around community that you think people should hear or know about?
It's a good question. No, I mean, there's a lot more value in communities in general, but not we've kind of hit a lot.
Let me ask you this, because you said something earlier, which it rang in my mind. How can these brick and mortars leverage community, bro? I know you talked about how they're leveraging the tool. You can share how they're doing that, because I think everybody should have it. But man, these restaurants, bro, they're so outdated. They're not doing no texting. When the last time you've been text from a restaurant?
Probably never. I can't even think about it.
That's crazy, right? To think that you go to restaurants and they're not sending no marketing to you. Y'all collecting data sometimes at the restaurant. Why aren't you messaging these people? So I think you got to get in a restaurant and become a marketer, right? Yeah. Especially to my restaurant owners listening, please start using new strategies.
Yeah. If I had a restaurant, or if I was helping somebody with a restaurant with a community, obviously make it a free community. Yeah. That would be the number one thing. I think something really cool that restaurants and brick and mortar places do is they usually have some sort of like point system, right? The more you pay, the more you get discounts for things. Integrate that into an online community. I think it could be a game changer, for that restaurant for sure. Yeah.
I like that.
That could be cool.
That's good. Man, so I'm just grateful that you came on, bro. I'm happy you was able to come on and share what you're doing. Also, the agency's rolling out ads now. Y'all doing ads for people and a whole bunch of other things. So I'm really excited just about, all the different ways that Social Minds Agency can really serve and help people.
We got something crazy I didn't even told you about right now. Actually, have you heard of clipping?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
Have you heard of clipping? Clipping is a revolutionary system. Essentially, when you pay for ads, typically you might be paying like $10 per 1,000 views, but with clipping, it's about $1 per 1,000 views.
Wow.
Right? And with Socialmize, we're building out an entire army of clippers and clip curators that are going to start working with a lot of our clients.
That's good.
And essentially be able to, send all of their traffic through social media. So if you guys don't know what clipping is, essentially what it is it's the Andrew Tate model. That's what people call it, because Andrew Tate got very, very popular because he had all of these people who are posting his content all over the internet, on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. And he was doing this 5-6 years ago. That's the only reason why he's so big. But people have just caught on that you can do this. You should be doing this. You know what I mean? Imagine if you had.
I tried it before and I don't think it worked, but I don't think the person. I didn't have the right person.
Yeah, you gotta have the right person for sure. And you got so much viral content. Like imagine, like literally, people shouldn't be able to log on Instagram and not see a video of Neo somewhere talking about something and getting that mindset approach, right? Yeah. And you can do it a couple different ways, right? You can actually, charge per 1,000 views. That's the standard. Or you can pay them commission, right? Pay the team a commission on what they sell if they have an affiliate link, right? And it's revolutionary because it's so much cheaper than ads. So a lot of times we try to think about, I love ads, right? And if you want to go to 100K, 200K a month, you need ads.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to get an additional 10, 20, 30, 50, and you don't want to blow the bank, then you got to utilize tools like our AI tool, Socialmize. Yeah. You got to utilize, different systems like clipping that can help you, because man, the return on the investment on that is insane. There's nothing like it right now. There's nothing like it. We got clippers that we're working with that have bigger theme pages of their creator than the actual creator's Instagram. Like they've grown it in 3 months. Yeah,
so I know this thing about close friends. Tell me about it, bro.
Oh, it's the sauce, bro. Okay. It's the sauce. So essentially our tool is able to add all of your followers to your close friends on Instagram. If you don't know what close friends is, it's that green ring around someone's icon on their Instagram stories. And essentially when you do that, it's going to 3 to 5x your Instagram story views, right? So imagine if you're selling something, right? I mean, you already know this, but imagine if you're selling something and, you normally get 1,000 views on your Instagram story. Now you're getting 5,000. Yeah. More people, more eyes. And the cool thing is not only is it more eyes, it's more engagement per view.
That's a fact.
Because people are like, wow, he added me to his close friends. And they're more likely to reply. They're more likely to respond. So we've had people use this tool and have 30, 40K days on their first time using the close friends.
That's crazy. Right? I heard one person did that too.
Yeah. People who are coaches, people who are consultants, people who are, having an online clothing brand are using it. We got so many different types of people who are using this tool, and it works for all of them, right? Yeah. So that's honestly the sauce. If you have any sort of brand, even like a few thousand followers, you need to be doing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I need that. Set me up expeditiously.
I got you.
Man, let everybody know how they can connect with you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to connect, obviously go to socialmize.com if you want our AI tool, but follow me on Instagram. It's chris.cren on all social medias, and we'll lock in.
Let's get it. Guys, man, what another fire episode. Go to socialmize.com. Go there and lock into the tool. I'm using it. Everybody's using it. This has been a secret thing we've been doing for the year, but we want you to be able to use it as well. So can't wait to see you guys on the next show. Peace.